Today's quick little video is going to be from Western Skies Golf Course in Gilbert, Arizona. Very familiar with this location. The instructor out here is Mike Aragani. So if you're near Western Skies and you want to get a golf lesson, come on out and see Mike. He's a great instructor. I was in between appointments today, and so I decided I would come on out and hit some balls. I usually have some music playing in the background on the speakers, and have great food in the restaurant as well as live entertainment periodically. So I'm going to do a little practice session, and then I'll probably end up doing a little voiceover as well. So enjoy. Alright, hope everybody's having a great day or evening whenever you're watching this video. I'm just going to kind of talk through a couple of things that I'm doing. As per usual, I always grab my Saber. I use the Saber LD. It stands for long drive. And what I found with warming up is that you really need to warm up. Hitting golf balls is not warming up your body or stretching. So making sure that you use a Saber in this manner, working it back and forth across your shoulders and stretching the arms is a great way to start. The second phase of my warm-up is to go into what I call the spin. So as I'm spinning back and forth here, what I'm doing is I'm really dynamically stretching. I'm stretching everything from my ankles all the way up to my arms and my shoulders and my neck as I rotate all the way around my body as far as I can. You know, at 43, body parts hurt, right? So I got a little maybe tightness in my knees and my quads, hamstrings, lower back. As you can see, I'm able to get a lot of rotation. So very blessed to have a tremendous amount of flexibility. However, I've been training and working on this for a very long time. So as you grab your Saber and you begin your warm-up, you know, let's stretch it out. The further you can rotate now, the further you'll be able to rotate when you're older. So looking down, stretching those quads. As I lean backward, I'm stretching the psoas and the hip flexors in the front of those quadricep muscles. You'll probably see here I lean back just a little bit more, get a little bit more stretch. And obviously hamstrings and quads are very, very important muscles to be stretching out in the golf swing. Your glute muscles, everything in your buttocks and lower back is also very important, so make sure you stretch those out. Funny about Tiger Woods saying you've got to activate your glutes, but it's kind of what I'm doing right here with multiple squats, trying to get the blood flowing, get the muscles activated. You use a lot of glutes and hamstrings and quads as you swing. I just look down, grab my Saber at the heavy end, so it's indicated heavy right there. Now I'm just rotating back and forth using the heavy end of the Saber. And what I want you to take note of is how clean my rotations are and how the Saber on the backswing to follow through creates a really nice circle all the way around. So it's a great way to loosen up and move without trying to hit a golf ball. Like I said, hitting golf balls is not warming up or stretching. Hitting golf balls is actually practicing. So you want to differentiate between your warm-up and your ball striking. Because what happens for a lot of people is they actually start hitting golf balls poorly, mostly because they're just not stretched. And then mentally they think they're struggling. So what I did just there is I switched the Saber over to the light end of the Saber. Now I'm increasing my club head speed, swishing it back and forth. And I'm not snapping it yet. That'll be the next thing that I do. But I'm working that Saber quicker and quicker, trying to get blood flowing, get everything moving. Alright, so now I'm going to go into the snap, the set and the snap. So the Saber itself has a timing ball. I'll let you hear it. Right, click there, snap there. Alright, set, snap. So what I'm doing here with the Sabers, I'm working on my timing. It's very, very important to make that energy release at exactly the right point. And then as I set my Saber down on the ground, I'm working on my ball position as well as my alignment. So the Saber itself will help you to align yourself on the ground. but there's also ball position indicators on the Saber that you can use to have a repetitive ball position. Now, one thing you'll notice here too is I go straight into full swings. I'm just actually coming back here to check the camera. Last time I did this with my phone, I got a phone call in the middle of my practice session and it actually shut my phone off. So I'm just making sure the phone's working, readjust, get you guys a little bit of a closer view. So as I get back into my practice session, a little click of the BOA on the FootJoy DNA shoes, tighten up the shoes, get into some serious practice. What you'll find right away is I go straight to the 5-iron. Because I'm fully loose, I'm able to swing full swing 5-irons and not just hit little wedges as part of my warm-up. So I'm already warm, so now I go into full swing 5-irons. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of jump out here for a little bit. I got a request through YouTube, and the request was, hey, it's awesome that you're hitting a lot more golf balls in front of us. We'd like to just watch you hit for a while. So what I'm going to do is just kind of turn off the voiceover part and let you guys just kind of listen to the strike of the ball and watch the practice session, and then I'll chime back in here in a little bit. Alright, just switching here to an 8-iron just to hit a few more shots. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. This is an 8-iron that I'm hitting now. Went from the 5-iron to the 8-iron. Alright, so those were my 8-irons, and what I've done here is just reached over and grabbed my Epon 20 degree. It's actually been bent from 20 degrees to 17.5. It's actually a driving iron, a flat face, forged head, so it does not have any bulge and roll, which is something that I prefer. It's basically like a 1 or a 2 iron, possibly like a 5 wood replacement. And I'll just hit a few of these for you so you can watch along. Alright, finished up with a really nice solid Epon driving iron there. And now I'm moving on to my Titleist 15 degree 3 wood. It's a 917 model. Have not hit the TS yet. It's really hard to find a good 3 wood, and I've been very happy with this one. So don't typically hit a lot of 3 woods in practice, but definitely wanted to. It's always a good practice to make sure that you're refining all of the clubs, especially in each category. So long irons, short irons, mid irons, wedges, driver, fairway woods, etc. Try to incorporate that always into your practice. I'll let you continue to watch along. Alright, now we're moving on to the driver. In my last video from yesterday, when I went out and played Desert Forest, I played the front 9, and in the front 9 I was kind of having a little bit of a leaking fade, a little bit too much. As I teed off on my 9th hole yesterday, I realized that my driver setting was in the lower setting. And with my driver, it says 8.5 on it, but I got it off of the tour truck at the PGA Championship. And they have a great way of measuring the actual lofts. Because we're dealing with very, very small degrees, a lot of drivers don't actually measure up to be exactly what's stamped on them. So I happen to know that this driver hit is a 7.2. And I requested the lowest one that they had on purpose. And what I did after yesterday, the driver I'm hitting right now is actually set in a standard setting, which is standard and slightly flatter. And I'm actually hitting it now with the true, I guess, 7.2 degrees loft instead of what I was doing yesterday, which was actually about a degree to a degree and a half less lofted than the 7.2. So it's probably closer to almost 6 degrees, 5.75 approximately. So as I'm hitting this driver, I'm just kind of working on getting that nice smooth swing. Obviously felt like I hit all of those pretty well, and now it's time to move on to something shorter. So as I hit this 56 degree, I kind of start out hitting a little bit more of a full swing, standard full swings right over just left and long of the red and white pole. And I know here, after a few swings, I decide to pitch them out there. It's about 75 yards to that red and white target. These first ones usually go about 100 yards. It's more closer to a full swing, 56 degree. And then to make my practice session a little bit more real, I start zeroing in. That's the first one there, to approximately 75, maybe 80 yards to that post. So as I'm practicing here, it just dawns on me that, hey, I think I can hit this post, and wouldn't it be really cool if I could catch it on camera? So I think to this point I've hit maybe 4 or 5 shots with that 56 degree wedge trying to hit the post, and I'll let you keep count from here on out. Spoiler alert, I do actually hit the post, so hang tight in there and enjoy. There you go. All right, gave you a thumbs up. I think from my count that was maybe shot 11 or 12 from when I very first started, before even we zoomed in. So now I'm about to move out to some more full swings. This is where I'm going to grab my 7-iron, just make a few more full swings, and continue on the practice. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I just pulled the Saber out of the way so I could hit some little pitch shots about 40 to 50 yards out. This is my 64-degree wedge. There's actually a little puddle, it was probably about maybe 2 or 3 feet in diameter, about 40 to 50 yards out. I spotted, and actually the very first shot I hit splashed right into that puddle. You couldn't see it because it was right behind my body there. But I will zoom in here at the end of this little pitching session. I actually got 3 balls to go into the puddle, and 2 of the 5 that I hit actually landed and splashed right in that puddle, which is good, gives me some confidence that I'm feeling pretty good about my wedge distance control with this high lofted wedge at such a short distance. Out of 5 in the puddle's not bad. Alright, so one of the fun things I do typically at the end of every session is to curve the ball. So this is a 6-iron. That was a big slinging fade. Standard trajectory. Now this is a big swooping draw. Again, pretty standard trajectory. This one here is going to be back of the stance, little punch stinger. Alright, fun little practice session. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you in the next video. Got one more day before I depart for Australia, so I'll get in another little practice session tomorrow, and and we'll hit the road.